Hi, I am Jake Cabell with Cross Country Mortgage, and you are tuning into episode 4 of the Veteran Owned Small Business Series, where each week we will highlight a local business and discuss their journey from where they started to where they are today. And today we have Todd Kumro with Cruise Planners. Welcome, Todd. Glad to have you.
Hey, thanks, Jake. Good to be here.
Good. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. So Todd, let's get right into it. Kind of where are you from? Are you from Colorado?
No, man, I'm a Navy brat. So born in Virginia, lived all over the world: Japan, Philippines, Midway Island, Iceland, all four corners of the U.S., and then 20 years in the Navy. So,
Oh wow.
Yeah, made Colorado my home in 2001 when I got stationed here in recruiting, and
Okay.
just haven't left. So that they haven't managed to kick me out yet.
Yeah.
So,
After this, they might.
there's a good possibility. I'm living on the edge of the state now, so it's
Oh, good.
may happen.
You're enjoying it out there.
I am enjoying it out here.
So you traveled all over the world as a Navy brat. How much of that time was, out of country and in the United States?
I think before the age of 12, I had lived out of the country probably about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So
Pick up any foreign languages or anything?
Well, I learned according to my family, from what little I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned Tagalog, a little bit of Tagalog, learned some Japanese.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, I went to a Japanese school when I was young because my father, what he did in the military, we did not usually live on a base.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah, we lived off base. So
you're all over the place, and you're a Navy brat. So was that the inspiration for you yourself to go into the Navy?
Part of the inspiration, honestly, tried to go in the Marine Corps, which I'm sure you appreciate.
Yeah.
But I had a ninth grade education. I had nothing.
Okay.
I was homeless, living on my own at 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, ninth grade education. I had nothing. I'd been kicked out of the house. My parents had been separated for a while, divorced. I didn't have the greatest of childhoods. While I had an opportunity to travel, I still didn't have a great childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So my father was Vietnam era, so some people can relate to that. I'm getting attacked by flies now. It was all nice and clean. It was pre-interview, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it never fails. But so I was homeless, 17, ninth grade education, tried to go in the Marine Corps is what I really wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And did not work out. But the Navy was obviously Department of the Navy, Marine Corps.
Uh-huh. Close enough, right?
Close enough, right?
Yeah.
So that's the direction I went, and history.
So you joined the Navy. What job did you end up getting while you're in there?
Well, at first I was a grunt.
All right.
Chipping paint.
Okay.
Taking care of the deck department. Then
Uh-huh.
I went into weapons department. So I took care of the gun mount, shipboard security. Did that for 12 years, a little over 12 years. And then I went over to mines. During that transitional period, I went over as an armor with EOD teams.
Mm-hmm.
Shifted over to mines and became a mineman, did the same thing. And just kept doing that for a while. And then my last couple of years I recruited.
Okay.
So I got to do that. Spent a couple of years as a counseling, drug and alcohol counselor. And during that tour, I ended up in Iceland, stationed in Iceland. So I got to go back on active duty and became the designated counselor for the Marine Corps Rifle Company, which became Security Force Companies. While I was up there. So, you cran eaters are near and dear to my heart.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I got you, brother.
So what was did you retire out, or did you get out for any particular reason?
I retired. I went recruiting because I wanted to go recruiting for one reason, mostly because of what my recruiter did for me. He saved me. He basically saved my life. Worked hard to get me in, did me right. I have managed to get my high school education. I did volunteer law enforcement while I was active duty with San Diego PD. I managed to retire with my bachelor's degree, eventually got my master's degree. So he did me a solid.
That's awesome.
And I wanted to do the same thing for other kids. The other reason was I lost some of my qualifications because of injuries. And so I could no longer do my job, which I was doing. And so I didn't feel like I was contributing. So I wanted to be able to contribute to the Navy at the same time. And I knew recruiting was a way that I could definitely contribute to the mission capabilities. So I was actually recruiting on 9/11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I knew that I could still give back in a way that I knew was a valuable way to give back. You volunteer. It's in your core. It's just keep going. It's honor, courage, and commitment. It's a driving factor that I don't think ever goes away.
Yeah.
So
when you were 17, ninth grade education, homeless, you got into the Navy and you did all these amazing things. I mean, what did you have that drive to get, your diploma and bachelor's degree? Did you have that drive the whole time, or was it something that was there but you just didn't know it was there? Or how did you kind of
there were times I had that drive, and there were other times when I needed a kick in the shorts.
Okay.
I'll keep it PG for you.
You'll definitely get a kick in the shorts.
Yes.
In the military.
Yeah, a few people there just kind of motivating you.
Yeah.
We'll keep it in. I mean, I think everybody needs. I don't think there's anybody that has that all the time. There may be those people. I needed it at times, and there were people that came alongside me and helped me. And I greatly appreciate it. There's people that come alongside me now and provide that for me, and I need those men in my life. And I call them cornermen. And just like in boxing, you have your cornermen. In boxing, that the boxer gets done with his round, goes in the corner, and there's those guys that pump him up. And get him back out there, get him motivated, so go another round. So
yeah, and we all constantly go through those roller coasters, but it's how we pick ourselves back up and maintain that discipline to complete the mission that we were set to do.
Right.
So I totally agree. I think that's awesome. That's a really cool story.
Yeah, I mean, the viewers can't see it, but I'm a one-legged guy.
Yes. If you don't know Todd, he has a prosthetic leg and he's very open about it. I saw him use it as a 9-iron on Facebook the other day.
Yeah.
So Todd likes to have a good time.
That's pretty funny, huh?
Yeah. Oh God, I was cracking up. So you have this great military career. You get out. And you finished in Colorado, right? You finished your military career in Colorado?
I did. I retired at a Naval Recruiting District, Denver.
Okay.
Same district my son joined the Navy in, actually.
Oh, awesome. So you're in Colorado, you get out. Where do you go from there?
I floundered for a while. I wanted to go back into law enforcement. It just wasn't, God did not have that in my cards as much as I tried. I just physically was not able to. I had too many injuries as much as I wanted to. I just could not get through it. So I looked for jobs and never was happy. Ran some security jobs, managed a bicycle shop for a few years, which actually was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I had people follow me from different shops. It was a corporate shop, so I had
Okay.
different shops around the Denver metro area, and I would have people follow me from shop to shop as I managed different stores. Then ran security at Colorado Mills Mall for a year and a half. Worked
Okay.
as a veteran service officer for a couple years. For the state, then for a county. Took a few years off as I went through a bunch of surgeries. That military injuries has caught up with me,
Mm-hmm.
and just kept trying to figure out what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then saw this opportunity. At a travel show.
Okay.
So.
And so what was it that caught your eye? What was it that, I mean, I can kind of guess why. You've been all over the world, and
Right.
so it seems like it's in your blood.
Yeah, I think there's a few things that caught my eye about this business. One of them was there's a big green booth. No, I was kidding. So it was very visible.
Yeah. Hard to miss.
Hard to miss.
Yeah.
But no, it's so I went and talked to them and did a lot of research. They're super military friendly, this business.
Mm-hmm.
One of the larger travel franchise and
Mm-hmm.
franchisees.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a few things. One, my wife is a serial entrepreneur, so we do this business together.
Okay.
She's actually out doing some things right now. So I like to tell people I'm the face. I'm the pretty face. Yeah.
The beauty.
Yeah, I don't know why. I get that reaction everywhere I go and say that.
Yeah. Shocker. I don't know why.
Shocker. I don't get it. But so I'm the comic relief, actually. But
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but she's a serial entrepreneur. She's always she's been looking for something in her life that she would love to do, and she's done a lot of great and amazing things. And I saw this as a great opportunity for her as well, something that we could do together. And so she's really the brains behind the operation. So I like to say, veteran-owned, woman-operated, and kind of like a marriage, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could testify to that.
Yeah, and so any smart husband would testify to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
happy wife, happy life.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And so I saw that as an opportunity. A husband, I believe a husband's job is to help build his wife up and help her along and help her grow into something fantastic. So I saw this as a great opportunity for that in life, to help my wife bloom into something amazing. And so when I saw that opportunity, of course, I'm like gonna take that as an opportunity for something where she could just bloom. And so I researched it, saw that, and I was willing to jump on that. So that's one reason. Another one was, second reason is there's so much crap going on in the world. I bought this business over 2 years ago. There was a lot of stuff already going on in the world. Now look at what's happening in the world. There's so much misunderstanding happening in the world. There's so much divisiveness just outside of what's happening right now. People not understanding one another is what I want to say. I don't want to get into the political aspect of it, but just people kind of not seeing what's going on outside of themselves. I figured if I could help people travel in an immersive way, which is where I grew up. I grew up in an immersive way, even though I don't think I had a rough life. I had a good life, and people don't understand it when I say that. Even though I think my parents weren't great, I had the opportunity to see what life was really like on the other side. And so I've been immersed in those cultures where I lived with dirt floors and no running water overseas. That was my life a lot of times. Wow. So I feel if I had the opportunity to help people travel in an immersed culture and go and help people, but enjoy and have a great vacation at the same time, they could see well people really are and how they live, and that people are the same and their hearts are the same. Maybe some of the stuff that's going on in the world can change and people want to understand one another. Sure, it's a huge, wish, but
Hmm.
you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I I think that's I think all that's really cool. The working with your wife, I think that's awesome. I have worked with my wife in the past, and I could work with her in the future. And having, even though if you don't work with your partner, you need to have a strong partner to support you and to
right?
have faith behind you in whatever endeavors you go after. So yeah, I agree. I have a strong bad A wife, and you know, I we make each other, we push each other, and I think that's great. And on top of that, I think it's, as you say, times today they are crazy. The world's always crazy, and especially with this, it makes it seem more crazy than it actually is.
Right.
And there's something that I remember that my father-in-law has said. He's traveled the world, such as yourself, and he says traveling will put into perspective how great this country actually is. If you think it's bad here, you have not seen the world. And in addition to that, I think it, as you mentioned, it's good to get a different perspective on life, because we're fed everything, all sorts of media, whichever mediums you choose, you know something is being fed to us. So I think traveling is, yeah, definitely one of the best things you can do to keep you grounded. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
um so so you you start cruise planners, um and you've had it for 4 years, you say now.
It's been a little over two and a
Oh,
half.
sorry, a little over 2.5. um so being an entrepreneur, you use cruise planners as a medium, as a travel agent. It's not just cruises, it's travel.
Right.
What skills, what discipline do you think that you've picked up from the military that has helped your success so far?
I think personal drive is definitely the skills as far as like don't quit for one, just keep going forward.
Hmm.
I like to it it how do I put it? I use gunfights as a which
Like
doesn't
analogy.
always it doesn't always go well with some civilians, but yeah,
Yeah.
they just kind of look at you with that glazed look over there. But
What are you
because
talking about?
they're like, "What's a gunfight?"
Mm.
But it's head up, face forward, moving forward, and always looking at what's in front of you and your
Mhm.
surroundings and checking up and down.
Mhm.
And but you never look back, and you just keep going. And what happened behind you, as far as I mean, you look back for enemy, but you don't look back as far as like, okay, what happened back there happened, and you let it go. And you kind of do that with business. Like if something bad happened back there, you learn from it and you keep moving forward. And that's life. That's what the military, I think, teaches us. You learn from it. Okay, something bad happened back there. You learn from it. You take what you can from it. You learn from it, and you just keep going forward. If you don't do that, you just keep dwelling on it and keep looking at it and just keep going, oh my, oh, you're not. You're just gonna stay there. It's like losing my leg. It's like, okay, people are like, oh, where'd you lose your leg? I'm like, I didn't lose it. I know exactly where it is. You know, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, and I got my robot one attached. And like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, I mean, if I lose it, there's serious problems right now.
Yeah. Wouldn't be able to hit that 9-hole.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's keeping a positive attitude about it.
Well, and that's that, and you are living by your own words. I mean, there are a lot of people that I know there are a lot of people that have been in your situation, young, low education, homeless, but you didn't let that get you down. You didn't come from privilege, but you didn't hold that. I mean, you may have held a grudge, but you pushed through that grudge, and you didn't think of yourself as, you didn't say, "Woe is me." And I think that the military does instill that. As as you mentioned when you started, you're doing all the grunt work. It's just things suck, and they suck for a while before you start moving up. But I think that you're definitely a good example of your own words. You practice what you preach. So
Right.
I think that's awesome.
And it's like that in any job. You know, you get the crap work at first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's part of that is just you earning your stripes.
Yeah, and when it comes to starting your own business, I mean, it takes a big leap of faith, and you may have all these great ideas, and you may try to implement them, and they may not work. But you just need to say, okay, that doesn't work. Let's try something new. And if something doesn't work, maybe you didn't try long enough. But it's all about that commitment and staying with the game plan.
Yep.
Knowing that your hard work will pay off. Things won't always suck. But I don't know. I think that your story's pretty amazing. So I think people should really listen to your words. I truly do.
Oh, thank you.
So about your business, so cruise planners, you help people travel all over the world. What would you say, what are some of the top destinations that you've helped people go to?
Well, I think our biggest destinations have been Alaska, the Bahamas, Caribbean. We sent people to Europe, Hawaii.
Okay.
Those have been, we've pretty much spread through there. Sent a group of a yoga group to help them get over to Thailand.
Oh, wow.
So for yoga
That's
retreat.
very cool.
Yep.
That's very cool.
We had some other ones planned. Had one planned for Greece, but COVID obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
helped much with that.
That's kind of the $1 million question is, COVID, it obviously affected your business. So is it picking up now? Are things starting to come back? What are you starting to see?
Things are starting to book.
Okay.
For next year, 2021, 2022, as far as cruising goes. As far as land vacations, we're booking people to Mexico, we're booking people to the Bahamas, Jamaica, slowly. It's going to take some time. It's going to take trust in the system.
Yeah.
Is the big one.
Well, I mean, personally, I'm ready to get out there. I mean, I cannot wait till things open up, whatever I need to do to maintain the order, wearing a mask or socially distance, but I'm just ready to travel, get out there. I mean, being cooped up at home these last 6 months, got a lot of great family bonding time, but I think people are just, they want normality,
Right. And there's going to be a whole new norm as far as travel goes. People have asked me, do you expect us to have to wear masks? And I'm like, yes, that's going to last for a while. I mean, they've been wearing masks in Asia for a long time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that will continue for a while, I believe. You know, if not for a year or more, if not a couple years, um, just because close proximity, you know, you're stuck in a tin can with
Mm-hmm.
recirculated air, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it will last. So it is what it is. Yeah, and are you willing to put up with a short term inconvenience for a longer term goal? You know, is
Absolutely.
the whole thing. And it's just like business. Will you put up with a short term inconvenience for a longer term goal? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how it is sometimes. You know, and it's with anything. So the short term inconvenience is you wear a mask on the plane. You know, you might show up
And
somewhere and have to do a little COVID test and wait in your hotel room for a couple days. You already know you're negative, you know,
yeah.
and then you go and play on the beach and have a great time, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for a week.
Yeah, you get an extra few days of vacation. You know, you can plan it that way while
Yeah,
while you wait for the test.
exactly. You know, you just enjoy your family a little bit more with room service and this
Yeah,
awesome room that you know you're not having to worry about. So it's like short term inconvenience, longer term goal, and so
exactly. So speaking of goals, if if you were to have some advice for someone, that was in your situation, you know, just haven't really found that niche, that interest, that passion, what would you suggest to that person that is kind of just looking for their thing?
man, that's always a tough question. I get that. I get that a lot from
Mm-hmm.
people like, well, how do I find my passion? I'm like, I don't know. You're asking a guy that took, like 52 years to figure that one out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think it's a lot of it's like follow what feels good for some of it, and
Mm-hmm.
what you believe in. You know, there's another aspect of that too is what gives you purpose. Like when you wake up in the morning, what do you feel gives you purpose?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I woke up in the morning, and when I wake up in the morning, it's what is it that's giving me purpose? Helping people go and travel as a family, or helping them go and do something positive in the world when they're traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I try to use companies that allow people to go and do something positive. The money stays in local communities, it stays in their local environments. Um, there's travel with a purpose. So it gives me purpose. So there's a purpose in that. So find something that gives you a purpose,
Mm-hmm.
as long as a passion. So is there a purpose there? If a person's not doing that, then you're missing the mark.
Yeah.
There's a total miss on the mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, life is so short, you know, work, work, no matter what you do, purpose. I mean, even purposeful work can be stressful and not great at times. But I know personally, every day that I wake up, I mean, I love being in the mortgage business. I'm passionate about it. I think about it all the time, whether it's, whether I'm dealing with clients or not, but it's an interest, and I'm grateful that I was able to find it and get into it. So, and it does take time. I mean, I didn't get into the mortgage industry basically till I was 30. Um, so it's, finding that, and you can find it by, trying to, you know, I mean, I got in through a friend that was doing well, and I saw the potential, and I thought I'd give it a shot. And luckily enough, it all worked out. Um, but use those resources that you have. I definitely say, and there's nothing wrong with trying something out. as long as you're able to provide for yourself, and if you have a family, for them, as long as no one's in harm, I think that, especially if you're, younger, you definitely have that opportunity to make some mistakes. But,
Right.
with you having the business the last 2 years and loving it, I think that's helpful to people that may be further down in their life and not too happy with what they're doing, or something may have happened with COVID to where, hey, you may have the opportunity to do something that you wouldn't normally do, due to unfortunate circumstances. But there's never a right time to take the leap. Would you agree?
Yeah. There's never a right time. There's never really a wrong time. There's just a time. Yeah, I've kind of lived that way. It's there. Um, for me, my wife likes to point out to me that I live on faith quite a bit. Sometimes it drives her a little bit over the edge.
Yeah.
That I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, God's going to take care of it. Like I look at where I've come from. I look at what I've gone through in my life. I've had an injury that caused my death at one point. And I remember actually being on the table. So, I know where I've been, and I know where I've come from. I know where I've been. I know where I'm at, and I know where I'm ready to go. So it's not anything for me. But I'm just, the time is now. The time has always been, okay, it's just time.
And I just want to reiterate that if anyone didn't catch that, you died. You were actually dead?
I've actually been dead.
For how long? How long were you?
I don't think it was very long. They didn't tell me. I was on the table when nobody's ever really told me.
Yes. So take advice from someone who has died and came back to life. That's incredible. That's incredible. So yeah, faith is definitely a stronghold in your life. How can you deny faith after that? That's incredible. And gosh, Todd, is there anything else that you want to add?
Nothing I could think of. I really enjoy what I do. It's an honor and it's a privilege to be able to help people travel. When they've been able to, and then when they will be able to. It's a great privilege to be able to work with my wife, and watch her be able to do what she does. I can't do what she does. She's just, honestly, she's the brains. There's plenty of people that tell me, "Oh, I'd love to take this trip," and then they're like, "Why am I bothered to tell you? Let me just talk to Sonee." That's my wife's name. I'm like, exactly. Why aren't you talking to me? I'd love to talk to you, but we all know who you need to really talk to.
Here's her number.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a great privilege to be able to help people do that. I think the one big thing that I'm looking forward to is the two of us will go into the Holy Land in January.
Awesome.
And we're looking forward to hopefully this next year being able to help some churches do the same thing. So
very cool. Are you looking to do some fundraisers or?
I'm just looking to hopefully help some churches do that in some groups.
Oh, with the okay.
Yeah, with the travel. Yeah, we can do some groups.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just became a Holy Land travel specialist. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome to know.
Yeah, so really looking forward to that. So I've only been through.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I haven't been over the ocean, so I need to get out there.
Oh yeah. So looking forward to it. I just feel this calling. I have this calling.
Well, that's very exciting. Well, Todd, I just want to thank you for coming on. I think that your story is incredible. I think that it is the American story. I mean, you came from pretty much nothing. You picked yourself up by your bootstraps, as much as that term's used, but I mean, that's exactly what you did. You didn't have things given to you. You didn't make any excuses, but you found a way for things to work. And you went from that homeless 17-year-old to now you're on your land here, sitting on your back porch, looking over all that land. So I think it's a pretty incredible story. We're happy to hear it, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. This is awesome, man. I appreciate it, brother.
Anytime. Well, glad to talk, and we wish you the best of luck, and we'll chat soon.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks.
Bye.